The IAS Conference on HIV Science is the world's most influential meeting on HIV research and its applications. This biennial conference presents the critical advances in basic, clinical and operational HIV research that move science into policy and practice. Through its open and inclusive program, the meeting sets the gold standard of HIV science, featuring highly diverse and cutting-edge research. Earlier on, we spoke to Thuthukile Mbatha, who is the representative for the AIDS and Rights Alliance for Southern Africa, ARASA. The IAS Conference on HIV Science is the world's most influential meeting on HIV research and its applications. What does this mean for ARASA to be part of this conference?
Thank you for having me. My name is Thuthukile Mbatha, the Regional Advocacy Lead for ARASA, which is AIDS and Rights Alliance for Southern Africa. Thank you for the question. What does this mean for ARASA to be a part of this conference? So the 12th IAS conference on HIV science, which is here in Brisbane, Australia, is one of the critical spaces for ARASA to engage in. As one of our key strategy's huge focus is on evidence-based research, which is why such conferences are quite critical to us. One of our key focus areas is HIV prevention. And you'll remember that ARASA was established in the early 2000s as an organization that fought for the rights, or as an alliance that fought for the rights of people infected and affected by HIV. So such conferences offer us an opportunity to learn about new strategies and how the pandemic has evolved, as well as the new science behind HIV prevention, as well as treatment.
Talk to us about the theme this year.
The theme for this year is on evolving clinical perspectives in HIV. For the longest time, conferences that are majorly attended by scientists, so like this one, would have a huge focus on the science, on the pills, the medicine and whatnot, and the clinical trials, and less of focus on human-centered approaches, of which what's unique about this conference is that there's also a focus on human rights, and also looking at HIV science in an overall way, in a holistic manner that looks at the science as well as the person, as well as the rights, as well as the political climate that people exist within. Because even if ARVs exist, if I'm hungry, or if I'm discriminated against in my home country, or if I'm illegal by virtue of my sexual orientation in my country, that treatment may not help me because I may not have access to it. So what's unique about this IAS conference is that there's also recognition of the different needs that people have, that people living with HIV or people affected by HIV have, that we not only look at what the science says, we also look at the social aspect that also affect whether or not a person would be able to adhere to treatment or not.
Update us on the latest research on HIV.
Thank you so much for that question on the latest science. I must say I'm very excited to have learned about the different types of science on the pipeline, and some of the African countries have already adopted. We know that one of the key interventions, or the newest interventions on HIV prevention, has been PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, which are the pills, mainly Truvada, which is used by HIV negative people to prevent contracting HIV. However, as much as such phenomenal technologies exist, we've seen that in Africa and across the globe, there's not much uptake. Not many people are actually accessing PrEP because of the stigma associated with PrEP being an ARV. And knowing that I'm HIV negative, then why should I be taking ARVs? Whereas these are ARVs meant for HIV prevention. Also, pill fatigue. A lot of people get tired of taking pills. I'm sure even the listeners would agree that it's not nice taking a pill every day. It's very easy to forget such. So currently there's research that is being done on injectable long-acting interventions like injectable PrEP, where one would just have to get an injection every month instead of having to take the pill every day. And such evolution or research has also been seen on HIV treatment, where there's injectable cabotegravir. This has been approved in South Africa and Botswana currently. So we really applaud those countries that have taken a step of accepting and also embracing the new technology to ensure that more people living with HIV stay on treatment. And we hope that more and more countries in Africa will also follow the same suit to ensure that people don't have to have issues with the pill burden, as well as people staying on treatment, because we know injectable ARV or ART has minimal side effects, and also there are very low chances of one not adhering or one defaulting on treatment, because you just have to go once. And some of the long-acting injectables mean that one would only go to a hospital once a year to get their ARV, and then they only go the following year. But again, all of this is still in the pipeline. All of this is still research. But some of this research is close to roll out. So these are great things that we should be on a lookout for. As activists, or our role on the ground is to make sure that our governments give our people resources and good science that can actually help curb HIV, as well as person-centered treatment that fits within people's lifestyles. Because we know that in Africa, a lot of us are working, and a lot of us have to go to work, but at the same time, you have to miss work to go and collect your ARVs. So if we have interventions such as the long-acting ones, the injectable ones, then it means you only go once a year. You get your injection, or 6 months, depending on the type that you get your injection, then you go on with your life and you focus on other things outside of you having to heavily be focusing on, oh my God, I have to take a pill. Oh my God, I have to go collect my meds. Oh my God, I have to miss school, or I have to miss work for me to be able to access such. So it's really eye-opening to see that research has progressed so much, because our goal is to end HIV by 2030. So we know that there's still a long way to go. However, there are a lot of wins that we are seeing along the way, the more we are approaching 2030, the more interventions and the more easily accessible, high quality research is coming up as well, of which that's good for our people, as sub-Saharan Africa is the most affected by HIV. So thank you so much.